What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. Welcome to the show. A few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button and you better smack it. Lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples. What the? Tell your peoples about the show. Specific time, and at any point during the show, you can call in. And what's the number, Joel? I'll tell you right now, 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773. The number is right there on the screen. Look, right here. Boom. You can call in, and guess what? If for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV, or go directly to the YouTube live chat, hit the super chat button. Send your question or comments there, y'all, and I'll read them live on air. In case you can't call in, but you still want to call me coon or the N-word, or you want to tell me you love me. Either way, you don't have to just call in. You can send a super chat as well, and I'll read it live on air. So you got options, and I appreciate it as well. Amazing stuff. Shout out. Stole that from Hate. Amazing stuff. Let's get into it. What we talk about today? Lord have mercy. We getting into some stuff. Oh, speaking of super chats, Linian Chin straight out the gate. See, I told you guys. I read them. Linian Chin out the gate says the fast lane is okay if you're prancing for Jesus. It's faster than light when you're prance for Jesus like Joel does in his Christian way. Prance revolution with prance. Well, I'm not sure if Linian Chin knows what I'm talking about when it comes to, I guess if you look at the thumbnail, it's pretty obvious. Money, right? Chasing money. And there's never the pathway to ensure that if it's fast, it ain't from the Lord. Because that's not how he operates. But we're going to get into it. Thank you, Linian Chin. I appreciate it for the super chat out the gate. Amazing stuff. Let's see here. I got some stories I want to share you guys. Some interesting stuff. And you guys will be able to call in if you want and we can get into it. But I want to get this this stuff out the way, and then we'll have time to lollygag. You know what I mean? And have some fun. Lian Chin says, I know you mean the darkness of lust for power. Oh, I didn't mean that, but I guess. Oh, just a quick reminder. I am not live on IG right now or Facebook. Technical issues. Again, I thought I'd try it and I was mistaken. So sorry, IG. Yeah, sorry, Instagram, and sorry, Facebook. And those watchers who, well, I guess they can't hear me if they're not watching. But just in case they came from Facebook and Instagram or punchy.tv to YouTube because they just want to see JFTV so bad, I understand. I understand. But if you guys did, I appreciate it. And I will be back on those platforms soon. Real soon. By tomorrow, if the Lord is willing, I will have it done. Now I know for sure that it didn't work like I thought it was going to. So we'll fix it. We be like, you know, I was scrolling, pretending that it's for educational purposes. You know how the saying in the mind get, the enemy say, you're just scrolling because you're just trying to be connected to culture. No, I'm scrolling for satisfactory. So I was scrolling and came across and so happened to come across something of value while I was scrolling for pleasure. So happens I come across this post from Instagram, Wealth on Instagram, very popular page, and they kind of give you a lot of news and a lot of different things going on in the world and stuff like that. Kind of interesting stuff sometimes. And I came across a story of Warren Buffett, Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men on the earth. He said something that stood out to me according to Wealth, right? He said something that seemed pretty interesting. Let me pull it up for you here. We're going to get into that, Lord, in regards to wealth. Joel, why you mess everything up, says Kevin. I'm black. I can't help it, Kevin. I'm I'm getting better. Cause I'm trying to be in the home. Oh no, that's not it. Let me pull it up here really quick. Cause Warren Buffett, white man. Here he is. Warren Buffett donates $1.1 billion to charity. Pledges to give away 99% of his fortune. Interesting. And he has children. And he has a family. But he says he plans to donate and give it away. Well, why? Why, you ask? He's, according to him and according to Wealth, I've never wished to create a dynasty. I thought that was very interesting. Because what does the world say about this stuff? Right? What does the world say about generational wealth and passing your money down to your children, your family, and creating a college fund for your children so they can go away to college? The world teaches all these things about passing money down to your family to create generational wealth. But what does that mean? What does generational wealth mean? It means that those who it's passed down to never work. For the most part, right? If you pass the money down, it can, and maybe not all the time, right? It's just spoiling, right? Spoiling another. Now, if there's a way that it's done to where your children or your family is working for it, they work for you, or they're earning their way, then beautiful. But that's not how the world teaches it. The world teaches is that we're gonna put money away for the family and for the children so they never have to struggle like we did. Although the struggle is what made them successful for the most part, right? A lot of celebrities and people with money may have taken shortcuts, right? That could be the case too. But I'm just saying is that very struggle that developed within that allowed them to go out in the world and be successful is the very thing that they're stunting in their children that they pass this wealth down to. And it can be a setup. And I'm going to get more into that. Oh, we getting into that. But I just got a couple stories first that I want to share with you guys about this stuff. And I kind of thought that was cool. I mean, Warren Buffett, I know the main things about who he is and how he's just, just little things. But I don't really know his character or stuff like that. But I like this here. Because you got this man who is a billionaire with children, and when he passes away, he ain't planning it to give it to him. He's like, I ain't trying to give you guys no money. You better go out there and work. That's beautiful stuff. And at one point, I didn't think like that. I didn't think like how I'm explaining right now. I didn't think like that. I was like, come on, help brother out. I was like, come on, let a brother hold something. You know, that's how the blacks say it. Let a brother hold something. And then take the money. But I've realized in my own life how that was the worst thing. The worst mindset I can ever have. And I had to grow up and make up for that. Literally. The worst thing. If one thing can cripple you, is that. And we're gonna get into that more, but let me move on a little bit. So also I'm looking at chat. There's this woman. Shout out to Derek, Jesse Lee Pearson, producer, helped me out with the story. Shout out Derek. This is from Fox 13. Oh. Let me say this last thing about Warren Buffett, and then we'll move on to that. He reiterated to pledge to give away 99% of his wealth and appointed 3 independent trustees to manage his donations rather than leaving substantial inheritance to his 3 children. He believes that avoiding dynasty wealth helps prevent potential issues in personal growth and family relationships, while also addressing societal uncertainties about future wealth distribution. That is incredible. That is incredible. I'm glad I didn't forget to read that to you guys. He believes that avoiding dynasty wealth, or I guess dynastic wealth, helps prevent potential issues in personal growth and family relationships, while also addressing societal uncertainties about future wealth. I don't know anything else about the man and what else he got going on or how he made his money or whatever. But I know what he said right there. Based. And imagine how the kids feel. Hopefully they understand, right? Because he's the father. And they're like, we get it, Dad. We appreciate that. But in some cases, they may be ticked. Like they've been waiting for him to go so they can get some of that money. A lot of situations are like that. We can't wait for Dad to go. We got to get this money. A lot of situations, more than you would know, a lot of situations are like that. So shout out Warren and Warren Buffett, not Warren G. Anyways, let's move on. Fox 13, a Memphis social media star promises to help make millions, but federal prosecutor said she was willing to use her own money for murder. Okay, so we're talking about money. We're talking about wealth. We're talking about the proper way to go about this stuff. Well, I got a little story. Got a little story to share. Memphis social media star promised to help you make millions. So she's promising her fans and the people who watch her content to help them make millions, right? But federal prosecutors say that she was willing to use her own money for murder. Here's a brief background on the social media star. Here we go.
If you've ever left a negative review for a business, you may have done it to warn other customers or get back at the business for poor service. But a negative review against Ashley Grayson's online courses left her mad enough for murder. It doesn't get more glamorous than this. Ashley Grayson's wedding proposal on a yacht with a personal serenade by R&B star Monica. Grayson's story was a Memphis rags to riches dream come true. She opened her business with an overdrawn bank account, then claimed She made $1 million in 60 minutes. An instant social media star, she pledged to help others. She opened an online course. She'd fix your credit and teach you to make your own fortune. On her Facebook page, Grayson showed off her new mansion in North Carolina and showed generosity in Memphis. I was there as she gave a free house away to a family.
Ashley is just everything to us. This is everything. And she know it.
Yeah.
I'm indebted to her for the rest of my life.
Listen, she made $1 million in 60 minutes or some type of million in 60 minutes. I don't trust it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm almost thinking impossible. But I leave it open. But come on. But let's move on. The DOJ says, I got another clip. The DOJ says the social media star flew a woman out to discuss a murder for hire plot. Ooh.
But behind the fame and fortune was fury. The Department of Justice says she flew a Memphis woman to Dallas to discuss a business opportunity. The job, murder for hire. She offered $20,000 for each victim for the woman to kill a South Haven woman who ran a similar company, Grayson's former boyfriend, and a Texas woman who made negative social media posts about Grayson.
And you don't want her hurt, and they just want her gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, out of here. Put my address up for over 100,000 people to see.
Grayson posted this conversation to her Facebook page, claiming the murder for hire was all a joke. But federal records show it got more serious. A $5,000 bonus if she killed the South Haven woman within a week. The woman told investigators she even captured video of flashing police lights from another random Memphis crime and sent it to Grayson, claiming she attempted to kill the victim and demanded $10,000. Grayson's husband Joshua was acquitted of all charges. 10 years or 120 months in prison was the maximum sentence allowed for her charges.
See, the point I want to make about this is that there's always a price to pay character as far as your character goes when you're making money quick, right? Because you got to keep in mind when money is made quick, corners are cut. You know what I'm saying? Corners are cut. And it may seem like it's nice because they're giving back. And I don't know this girl. I don't know this girl's story. And I don't even know if this is true or not, right? But there's people who do these type of things. And when you cut corners and stuff to make this money, it seems nice because they're giving back. They're giving people stuff. They're donating. They're doing all these things. But their character is shot. Because look, if this is true, right, she's about to kill somebody else for their business thing. And she's facing prison for it. Like, as I said, shortcuts, the fast lane lead you straight to hell. Because you got to remember, here's a couple things that I want to get into, and then we'll get to calls and stuff like that. You got to remember this. Is notice that with this young girl, she was giving money. She gave a free house away. She was giving money. She's trying to teach you how to make millions in 60 minutes. And that's not serving anybody, right? That's why the world got it all messed up because, yeah, there's a time to give. And, yeah, it might be given in the proper situation to the proper person. But giving is also doesn't necessarily mean that it's helpful, right? And that's what is pushed. You got to give, make sure you give, and you should give, but not in this worldly way, right? Just giving things and giving people stuff because you can and all that stuff because that's what the government is doing to women without husbands or people with who don't want to work or whatever the case is. The government's standing in, and what that's doing is it's separating the family, right? It's separating the family because it gives, for one, it incentivizes the woman. Well, if he doesn't, if it gives a woman an if, right? It gives a woman an if. If it doesn't work out, there's no motivation to make sure that stuff work out, your marriage work out. Make sure you're on point. Make sure you guys are working it out. Because if you don't, then it shouldn't be like that. There shouldn't be a if, right? And that's what the government does. The government will jump in and give you an if. And that's what handouts do. And I realized in my own life, and what I've seen is that handouts are probably one of the top worst things you can do to anybody is give them a handout. It's the worst thing, one of the worst things you can do. Reason why is because especially when it comes to men, there's a nature within us that must develop, right? It has to develop in order for us to survive in the world, in order for us to be what we're supposed to be as men. It has to develop. But when you give a man, or anybody in general, women too, but especially men, a handout, that nature goes undeveloped and they don't know how to survive out in the world. And then they're going to constantly be looking for handouts. Then they're going to look for a sugar mama. It cripples people. It's the worst thing. And sometimes it seems like it's coming in such a nice way. Like when you're growing up and your parents are sure you know that you love them, so you give them things, and you don't realize that that spoiling of the nature is not allowing the children to grow up and be responsible or disciplined or independent. It's a mistake. But it seems like it's nice. It seems like it's friendly. It seems like it's love. It's not. It's a setup. Like I said, there's a time to do it and there's a time where it's appropriate. But the joke is going too far right now. And I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it how that has affected me. The handouts have affected me. The expectation that other people are going to help me has not helped me in those times of my life. And I had to climb out of holes. I've gotten into holes. It's just been a mess because I wasn't taught what that truly means, right? I had to learn it on the way in adulthood, the hard way. And climb out of this thing. Because in LA, let me tell you, especially like when you live on your own and you're doing your own thing, you're out doing your own thing, and it gets hard, right? Because it's gonna get hard, right? Your first time out of the house, it gets hard. And there in LA, there's so many low income programs. I can't even tell you. Everywhere you look, there's a low income program to help you out. And it's so tempting. I'm telling you, they make it so tempting and simple for you to do it. Right? So easy for you to just take a handout. You're like, I could use a little help. I could use a little help. And you could take it. Right? But there's a price to pay. Right? So I've learned through trial and error too in my adulthood that those handouts are not the way to go. It's not the way to go. I also learned that in LA, California is probably one of the first places when prices go up, California feels it. That's what it feels like. Because I'll be talking to other friends and people around the world, and they're like, no, I pay this much. I'm like, you pay that. When prices goes up, then the hustle goes up too. When prices go up, the hustle goes up too. And I don't mean like scavenging around to try to make some money, but I'm saying that like there was times too where I had to get different jobs. I had to get better jobs or multiple jobs because I couldn't afford something. And if I took a handout at those times, then I wouldn't have grown into understanding that I just got to find a way to do more or I got to find a way to make more money or whatever it was, right? That nature within has to develop because now you're thinking. Now you're sharpening the tool. It's like back then when men had to be hunters, right? It's like that's really what it is. That hunter's nature had to develop because their whole family was gonna starve if the man didn't sharpen that spear and go kill that pig for some bacon. You know? You know? So when times get hard, instead of them saying, somebody else saying, look, we'll bring you the pig. Don't worry about it. That nature develops within. And then you have to figure out how to do, and you just grow. You grow. You grow into the money and you grow into what's the next thing for you to do. You don't just take the shortcut that's going to give you shower you with all the money that you need. Because you have all the money in the world, but that nature is undeveloped, undisciplined, and you're done. You're cooked. As you grow, your pockets grow. I ain't playing. Listen, I'm still learning too. Listen, I'm still learning. But if I'm wrong, somebody help me out. Call in and help me out. Let me know if I'm wrong. Handouts, I know that for handouts. Like I said, there may be a time where it's fine to accept this and that or whatever. But I'm talking about taking handouts is the killer of the spirit killer. What a mess. 888-775-3773. 888-775. Oh, shoot. That's Warren. I didn't want to go to Warren. I wanted to get me. I got it right here. 888-775-3773. You can call in. Amazing stuff. Let me check. That's all for now. And see it real quick. And then I'm going to get to some calls. Joel Friday, Harmony says, Joel Friday didn't read my super. I'm going to keep bugging. When did you send one, Harmony? Hold on, I'm going to get to the calls in a second. Let me just make sure I got to these. Hold up. Shout out Warren Buffett. Man, it's a mess. Oh, okay, I do see super chat from Harmony. I did say super chat from Harmony when there was no message. I said super chat from Harmony, no message. Shout out Harmony. I said that yesterday, Harmony. You missed it. You weren't paying attention. What? You were eating grits. But I appreciate it, Harmony. Thank you for the super chat. Always appreciate the super chats. Amazing stuff. Let's go to William out of California. William, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Brother Joel?
How's it going, William?
All right, I'm going to touch on two subjects. We're going to go as fast as we can because it's a good subject you just brought up.
Right on.
First of all, let me pull up this name. You doing okay today?
All is well. While you're pulling that up, let me just do the super chat really quick. Matthew with the super chat. Thank you, Matthew. Matthew says, "Hey Joel, happy Thanksgiving, bro. Bless you and your fam." Oh, for the super chat. Go ahead, William.
Okay, I'm just going. Okay, can you hear me pretty good?
Yeah.
Pull up this image. Admiral Rachel Levine. That's Lavine, U.S. Department of Health.
Levin.
Yes, we were talking about the military yesterday.
Oh,
We're
okay.
gonna talk about that, and then we're going to talk about the wealth.
Oh, I know who that is.
All right. I didn't serve. My father served.
Okay.
And I know Rick out there, our caller, served in the Navy. That is what you call Navy dress blues.
Man, hold on. Let me show this to the people real quick. Hold on. Okay, so that is Rachel Levine, a transgender male to female.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is this person?
You were talking about that yesterday, and that's done. Trump is getting rid of that.
Okay, so is Rachel in charge of the military, or what is her? What is?
No, Department of Health or something. I think she is military, though. I think she is or was at one time. Is that? Let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
The military is your money, my money, and the rest of this country's money.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody says. There's no room in the military for that kind of behavior, nor should I pay for your operation.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing saying anything bad about anybody. That's not something that I should be paying for.
Exactly.
And it's gone.
And I love that. I love that that's being taken care of. And it's not even like an offensive thing or a mean thing at all. Is that just doesn't belong there. Do that on your own time.
Doesn't belong there. That's right.
Somewhere else. Yep.
I heard you having a conversation yesterday about that, and you did make it very clear. That's not to hurt your feelings, caller.
Yeah.
It's just that, that's not, no. Schools, military, no. Those are public agencies. That's not cool.
Right.
And it's not normal. You cannot sit here and look at that picture and tell me that's normal.
Right. And it's hard to, no matter who it is, it's hard to want to look to that for leadership or respect when you're confused by what you see,
You can't lead nothing.
Right.
You can't lead nothing.
Exactly.
It's gone. Woke is gone. DEI is gone, and they're arguing about these three subjects right now in the chambers. So I just wanted to let you know.
Nice.
Trump is doing away with that. That's the difference between having House, Senate, and executive
I
office.
I love that.
Okay.
Right on. Thank you for that.
And that's make that clear to everybody.
Right, because there's something to be said about this behavior that's going unsaid that needs to be understood when these people are involved. Right? There's,
Well, how do you feel about this, Joel?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be talking about it if you don't be throwing this in people's face in their public agencies and schools and nursery schools and military.
Right.
But behind the fame and fortune was fury.
Sorry.
The Department of Justice said.
That's okay.
Go ahead. You said
you
what?
understand? You understand what I'm saying? It wouldn't be talked about. That's your business.
Right. Right.
But you don't need to make that everybody else's business.
Right. Exactly.
Nobody cares.
And
you can't lead a battle.
And it's right. It's not intimidating. It's not. It just doesn't look proper, and it's not proper too.
That's what Kamala and Joe tried to do. As a matter of fact, they did it, but they did it under executive order. They didn't make a law. It's not law. It's gone, people.
Nah. What do you mean? They did it under executive order. What do you mean?
With a stroke of a pen. Executive order meaning if you don't have the House or the Senate, you can't make a law out of it.
Oh, I see.
DEI, woke, all that, BLM, it's gone.
Oh, I love it.
It was okay. Now, what they made a mistake was thinking that was going to be till eternity. No. Next administration can take your executive order and throw it in the garbage.
Nice. Yeah. Right on. Yeah,
you're speaking about Warren Buffett?
Yeah.
What do you know about him?
I don't know much about Warren Buffett, to be honest.
Well, do you know his children? There's no strife between him and his children.
Nice.
And I come from generational wealth, and not every family that has generational wealth give things to their children, because I've made my wealth through work, and then
nice.
I have that too.
Oh, okay.
So
you were taught. So how did that work out for you? Explain it to us briefly, if you can.
three generations of generational wealth, but it was taught that you don't give things away.
Okay.
You don't do that. I made my own, but I was taught along the way on how to handle money. I don't like giving. I know there's a lot of people want to find out. Here's the deal. It's in the millions. I don't want to give you numbers.
Right.
But you think that happened over? It didn't happen overnight, brother.
Okay, so how did you get to a place to where knowing you had this money? I'm sure maybe at a certain age, and how did you avoid? Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you avoid wanting to splurge or not wanting to work because you had money?
It didn't even happen that way when it fell into my hands. When people started passing away, grandfather, father, when they left,
yeah,
it wasn't like, let's go get a Cadillac. It wasn't like that. You have to realize that people that have money don't owe other people their family money. Now, Warren Buffett, in his case, he's given to charity, but that doesn't mean his children are poor.
Right.
They all had a $90,000 trust fund at the age of 18. Warren has $150 billion. 5% of that makes those kids really rich.
So they're still getting money, is what you're saying? They're still.
Well, they're making their own money. I think Michael's in music.
Okay.
One of the girls is into charity work, so it's not what people think. Like, oh, he doesn't like his kids, he ain't giving them money. It's not like that.
Right.
And that's one individual that made that choice. He doesn't owe anybody his wealth.
Right.
But Trump, another one, it wasn't given to him either.
Right.
His father gave him $100 million loan.
Huh. Interesting. See,
and he lost it and filed bankruptcy and ended up getting $15 billion.
See, I like these type of situations, right? Because these things aren't just like, here's the money. No, there's a risk involved with this. It's like, here's this money, but it come like you have no choice but to deal with it properly. So yes, of course, maybe like you're saying that parents are going to pass down money to their.
But some parents actually teach their kids on how this works. I have been lucky enough to have good father and grandfather and mother and dad. I had good people in my life to teach me that you on paper doesn't mean, I got money. I got some money, but I'm not a billionaire. But the thing is that you have to know how to operate with this money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can do a lot of things if you know what you're doing. Like, for instance, I've bought 3 houses that have nothing to do with the family business.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think that Joel makes $1 billion and he's going to leave some of it for his children. A lot of people really think that you owe them some of that.
Right.
Now, if Joel decides to do that, that's one thing, like Warren Buffett. Okay. But Joel's going to look out for his children.
Yeah, and that's what I love, that Warren said that I was never out here trying to build a dynasty to do all these things. Like, no, I want my children, and this is what I got from what he said, is that I want my children to also understand that they have to work for it and they don't get to be lazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they came from Susie and their brother come from really humble beginnings. And same here with me and my brother. We weren't given anything. We were taught like little boys to help out and watch what we're doing.
Yeah.
Help out and watch what we're doing. Okay, son? Spending time, not just giving, spending time with us to show us how you get it.
Yeah.
Then when you get older, you know what to do. Because I don't give my property away. It's rental. It's real estate. I don't give my stuff away. I've had people come and say, how much you want for this apartment? Oh, I want $5,700 a month for that. Well, wait a minute, brother. Excuse me? I'm not your brother.
You're right.
This is the market. This is what I want. And this is what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Or you going to take your black tail down the street, move with them. Because this is business, right, Joel?
Yeah.
First of all.
Yep. Exactly.
So you don't owe anybody your wealth. A lot of our people feel like people should give them their
give
wealth.
them things. Yeah, give them things. Or they're owed something. And it's
Remember,
really, and go ahead. Go ahead, make your point.
You can do it two different ways. You can be selfish and say, I ain't giving you nothing. This is for me and my family.
Right.
Or you can be Warren Buffett. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Either way, I respect it.
Right. I
Go ahead,
agree,
Joel.
William.
What was you getting ready to say?
I agree, William. Well, I forgot the point I was gonna make, but I'm running because I'm looking at the time here too, and I gotta run. But I will say is that
let's go ahead, Joel.
I will say
one more thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will say is that people think that is mean if you say no, or is that you're harsh because you don't want to give somebody something that they didn't earn or they didn't work for, or that you don't want to give to. It's like, no, I can do whatever I want with my money, for one, but for two, it's what did you do? What do you even like? What makes you think that this is? Right. You're going to be able to even handle what I give you. So I understand Warren.
I understand Warren. And my father was just like that. He didn't just give it to us. We had it. Okay, I owe you shelter, food, and an education. Yeah. But I'm not going to go crazy with this. And he didn't raise two sons like that. Yeah. Another thing about your show, I'm advocating for another hour for you because you actually are good.
Thank you, man.
And I think sometimes you allow callers to coerce you into agreeing with their nonsense, and then you touch the top of your forehead. I lost track. Just take more control of it. Respect them and keep your beliefs. Because you and I both know that military uniform we just looked at, that don't make no sense.
No, I get what you're saying. I appreciate the advice on that, but I honestly, it's not me.
You're doing good.
Yeah, it's not me thinking that I'm allowing them to speak on this because I'm letting them do that. I just.
I get it. I get it. You're polite. You're a good brother, and you're polite, and you're trying to keep the wheels moving, and I get it. You want everybody's opinion respected, but I know where your head is, man. Yeah. You're a good person, man.
No, I get your. I appreciate it, William. I get your points too, and you're right about the handout thing, and I'm glad that you made the point that you came from that, but you were also taught that you work for it and you don't just to get to spend the money however you please and not actually earn your way. So I appreciate that. Well, I got more calls to get to, but thanks.
All right.
Call me again.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right. Okay.
All right. Right on. Just being cordial. I guess it comes off that way. And I understand like William saying 100%, and he's like just trying to give me brotherly advice, and I appreciate it. But I'm in more control of the show than it may seem. But I mean, I don't even have to prove that or anything, but I just don't see it that way, because a lot of people tell me what a William say. They're like, you just let them talk and you let them do all these things. And I don't see it as me not being able to have the strength to tell them no. I allow it. I let them do it for my own reasons, right? And it's not me trying to think like, dang, how am I going to tell this person to do this? Or I just want to be nice. No, I'm not like unconsciously being nice. I just don't see, I have my reasons for allowing them to do it. And if I wanted to take them off the show, I don't see why I wouldn't do that either. So, but anyway, I appreciate it, and I understand the point of it. And William is making great points about the topic at hand. So I appreciate him for that. And let me try to move the calls because I'm like, got a few minutes left here. Let me go to Terry out of Oregon. Terry, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh, you took my call. How's it going?
How's it going, Terry? T-Bird. How you doing?
I'm good now that I got called T-Bird.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm good. I called in because I was like, I want to call in about that transgender in the military thing, even though that wasn't the topic.
Oh, yeah. But
you're gracious.
Yeah, you're all good. Go ahead. Feel free.
And okay. I just had a couple of points I wanted to make about this. Like, the financial cost of it is insane when you, like, break it down in the military. I don't know what deal they're running or why this is, like, permitted, but it's insane when you look at it. The amount of cost of the healthcare, quote-unquote healthcare.
Yeah.
But how are these people supposed to serve in combat, like, really, when it comes down to it? Because, like, how are you going to be out in the middle of nowhere, in no man's land, shooting up hormones?
Right.
Not let alone if you've had anything amputated. I mean, I knew a girl who had her breast amputated.
Right.
And she kind of woke up after, all this went down,
Yeah.
And she was telling me that she can't lift her arms over her head because, you can't just remove a body part and expect to not have any kind of like scar tissue buildup or issues with that. It's not,
great points.
Let alone if it's like, something in your genital area, it's not a little thing. And how are these people supposed to be like in these serious combat situations when their health is so compromised?
Right. And that's that's just physically, right? We're not talking about the mental state. We're not talking about the spiritual state. Mm-hmm. You're just talking strictly
I'm just talking strictly physically.
I know.
Their health is compromised. You can't be doing this stuff to yourself. And you're like a lifelong medical patient if you want to go down this road. Like, it's like, do you have chronically ill people serving in the military?
Right.
Or other people with other health issues like this? And they can't do it.
And that's the only reason. And everybody knew this, Terry. Everybody always knew this. The people in the military, the people in the government who signed off on these things. Everybody already knew this. But what's happening is that the transgenders and these other people are pushing back. And they're too weak to say no, and also the control, the money and control thing. But I want to address another thing that you said about the money. I don't know if you were making this specific point, but all that money that goes into having these surgeries in the military is coming from the people's tax dollar, our tax dollars. For transgenders to stand on the front lines in this way, missing body parts or having body parts that don't look proper to be in the military. So all the way around, it's just a mess.
Yeah, and I also wonder if some of it is just that they don't plan to be sending our troops into combat situations, and they're just planning to like fight proxy wars like through other nations' militaries.
Yeah.
So they're just like, oh well, we don't really need these people, so let's just do this. And then we'll get all these brownie points. And then you have all these people who are like really into this stuff for some reason and think it's a good idea, even though it's totally insane.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, and then so they win votes that way. I think it's all like a political game and like just, it makes me ill. Oh, it's horrible.
No, it really is. But another thing I wanted to say too, and I want to get what you thought about it, is I don't know if it was before the transgender thing or after. I don't know the date timeline, but do you think that even women should be allowed to fight on the front lines?
No.
And why? And why do you say no?
A number of reasons. For one, I don't think women are physically fit to handle that kind of stress on their bodies. They'll break down quicker. There'll be more of a, issue I think there's also just the vulnerability issue of like what happens if they get pregnant, because you got men and women interacting together. They're young, they're fit, things are going to happen. And also I think that the reason historically women have stayed home and men have gotten to fight is because it's easy to repopulate with less men, but if you don't have as many women, it's harder to populate.
Interesting.
So you can have a one man who could, theoretically, if a lot of casualties happen in your war, you could still potentially, rebuild your nation with less men than if women are taken out, because wombs are just a little bit more, I don't know, what's the word, just, I guess, valuable to the
reproduction.
Yeah, or not valuable. What's the word I'm looking for? They're a little bit more scarce, or the reproductive issue is a big part of it.
Yeah,
and women can keep homes going. They can keep, and they've shown that through history that like when men go off to war, women go into do farming and other hard jobs.
Yeah.
They can sustain themselves while men are away.
No, and then on top of it too is that if you have these women who are going to war with men, then there's also another form of a problem that can happen with the enemy seeing these women and pulling them to the side, or not to be graphic, but pulling them to the side, or using them for sexual purposes, other than the fact that. Because you're going to hear that, and if it's not already happening, you're going to hear the fact that these women are being raped, that they're the enemy, they're being kidnapped. They're not just being killed, they're being taken and used. So there's just so many different variables that go into women fighting wars against the enemy that puts them way farther at risk than they would be if it was just a man out there facing the enemy. So
it's not that I don't think women can be in the military or have certain roles that they play,
Yeah.
Because women have historically been like medics and, the military and
right.
wars.
I mean, that's
really important,
That makes more sense.
But I don't know about like just going into combat, going into a foxhole, that doesn't seem logical or right, or even a good use of our resources.
And it's even 100%, and it's even wild to see on the streets a police officer man and then the partner is a woman. That's wild to me too, because you have to think about, it seems fine when nothing's going on, but what about when there's actually something going on? It's not that a woman can't shoot a gun or she can't. But anybody would much rather feel a lot more safer if you had a man as your partner than a woman in high stress situations. So it's just crazy
and
time.
Also, like, women are just, I mean, if you're dealing with like a bad person, like a criminal, a person who doesn't care about what's right or decent, they're not going to have any problem knocking out a woman.
Exactly.
Quickly. It doesn't matter how tough she is.
Exactly.
Like, if she's not physically built like a man is.
Right. 100%, Terry. I appreciate it. I'm so out of time.
All right. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks. Call me again.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye. Listen, I'm telling you. Because I think they were saying that they're going to start, they were thinking about putting allowing women to fight on the front lines. I don't know if it's already happening, but I know that they've been talking about doing that. And it's just my dog know that that's not right. That's not proper. You know what I mean? It's like you have these guys, and it's also a smack in the face to the men in the military that are putting their lives on the line and putting their lives at risk for the country, and then they're at war with women, meaning like women at their side also in the war. Like, you know what I mean? Like how safe do you feel as a man to put your life on the line knowing that your backup is a lady. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even go. Nope, I'm not going. I'm not going. Because that's not right. You're putting my life at risk by putting a lady here just because ladies should be, it should be fair for women to be in there too if they want to. We're getting crazy with this stuff. Taking a joke way too far. And then it's already happening in the police academy. Don't get me started with that. It's already happening there, so you know it's going to happen in the military. In the police academy, and to make matters even worse, they lower the standards for the women to get in there. So we say, not only we're letting you in here, but we're going to allow you to get in here, and you don't even got to be strong. For the most part, right? Because every department might be a little bit different. But still, let men do the man's job. And women are going to be mad about it, but that's why you need somebody in there like Trump who's going to say, I don't care about how you feel about the situation. You ain't going to be in here. And if you don't like it, oh well, move out. The celebrities moving out of the country because they don't like this stuff. Bye. Good riddance. We don't want you or need you here anyway. Because that's not how you're putting people's lives at risk. And it's all fun and games until you hear stories about police officers getting beat to a pulp, women police officer beat to a pulp because they ain't got no business being there. You're getting what you deserve. Sorry to say it, you're getting what you deserve. And I don't wish that on nobody. And But I'm saying, don't be surprised when you get this strong, drugged out criminal and you a female officer and he beats you up. That's all I'm saying. Like, man, we gotta be tough, even if it's gonna, I almost said pissed. I can't say pissed. It feels wrong to say it on air. But even if it makes the ladies mad, even if it makes them overreact, even if they flares up their anger, we gotta say no anyway, period. Even if they overreact, we gotta say no because we know that it's in their best interest that they don't do it. We're protecting them. We're loving them by telling them no because we know what's best for the most part. Tell them no anyway. No, you're not getting here. I don't care what you say. No. That's how it has to be. Or else you have transgenders in the military, women in the military, and what's standing in front of the criminal and the terrorist and your home and your children is weakness. I ain't making this stuff up. I ain't making it up. It's just what's going on. Wish it wasn't this way. Wish I even say it. But it's the reality. Anyway. I gotta go. I'm out of time. Rick and the rest of the callers, I'm sorry. I'll be back here tomorrow, though. We'll get into some more stuff. Who knows what it's going to be, but we'll get into some more stuff. Thanksgiving coming up. Amazing, but we will be doing the shows on Thanksgiving, so you guys can tune in on Thanksgiving to the Punchy Network. And all the hosts will be doing their shows, I believe, except one host. I don't know if I can mention it, but one host won't be here. So The rest of the hosts will be doing their shows though. Okay. So anyway, I'll be back here tomorrow. American Anchor Baby coming in today at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you guys check that out. Shout out to the callers, William, Terry, Rick, and the others. Thank you guys for calling in. Appreciate the super chats. Thank you guys for the super chats. Oh, I believe that Seasal sent the super chat. Let me get to that really quick, and then I gotta go. What's Seasal talking about? What's Seasal saying? Hold on, let me find out. Oh, it's over here. That's why. What the? Let's check here. Seasal says, struggle stream for the win. What the? Whatever, Seasal. I try to read the super chat and she talking about struggle stream. What the? Nah, I'm just playing. Thank you, Seasal. I appreciate it. Shout out. Amazing stuff. It was a struggle stream today. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday it was really bad. Lord. But we're gonna work it out. The 30% is gonna get it together and intercede. All right, y'all. I'm done talking. Till tomorrow. If the Lord is willing, the creek is cool with it, I'll see you on the flip. Bye.